guys, this is Holy Ghosta. I'm about to do a review for the FPS Freek Snipers, FPS Freek Infinity, FPS Freek CQC, and also the classic models, both the new and the old. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll start down here with the Snipers. Okay, as you can see, Snipers have a convex top, similar to a PS3 controller. You can kind of see there. Stays in focus. Yeah, there we go. And you can see there it's got a nice little sniper thing on the top, a sniper crosshair. I'm not a really big fan of these. I've always played Xbox, so convex is not my thing. More concave, where it dips in instead of out, is my thing. It feels, it doesn't have quite the same effect, I don't think. When I'm playing, I put these on earlier, and I felt like I was just a little bit too fast with my sensitivity that I would normally play on. So you can see these are the FPS Freek Sniper edition. So if you already play PS3 and that's what you're used to, these would probably be really, really good for you, and you'd probably enjoy using these. But for an Xbox 360 gamer who plays, things like Halo, Call of Duty, and Gears of War or such, I would not recommend these, especially if you played that for a long time, because they're convex. Okay, moving over here. These are the FPS Freek Infinities, okay, Halo Edition. So basically, kind of designed after Halo, pretty simple thing. These are not too much different than the classic versions that we'll see in just a second. But they are still concave, and so on the inside they dip down instead of go up. And basically they just have the simple logo in the center. This is the Infinity logo, not too much going on there. For some reason I like them better than the classic models that I've used for about a year or so. But I would definitely recommend these for playing Halo, for playing Call of Duty, any of the above. And I believe there's some Call of Duty version ones that are really similar. So, and now we'll go ahead and move on. Like I said, I would definitely recommend these. So we'll move on to the next one. We have the FPS Freek CQC. Alright, and we have that's close quarters combat. As you can see, these are a little bit smaller. Let me compare them to one of these, and then also one of the classics. So you can see they're definitely smaller. Okay, they're about half the size. Alright, I would say that these are probably really good for somebody who's never used Kontrol Freeks and would really like to get into it. Or maybe for somebody who uses Kontrol Freeks but they feel like they're just a little bit too big, just a little bit too awkward compared to what they're used to. We'll go ahead and move on to the classics. So you can see I have the original classic model, which is this white and black one. As you can see, I don't know how well you can see with the light and such, but there's really not a lot of grip left on these. I used them for a very, very long time. The one thing that I noticed about these, and I'm pretty sure it happens with most of them, is that the actual rubber, now it's hard to really show this, but the rubber on the top actually starts to spin a little bit. You can see that. And that causes a little bit of annoyance, especially when you're trying to play and your fingers are slipping all over the place. But you can see the grips are worn down, and so that's why I decided to get some new ones, which I got these. These are the newer FPS Freek Classics, and I actually really like these. These did not wear out nearly as quickly as the first pair, and the rubber is not sliding at all. So I'd recommend these as well. Overall, I think my favorite is definitely the Infinity, the Halo Edition ones. They just feel nice. I feel I have like a lot more control, I feel, and I don't know exactly what that comes from, but it seems to have sharper edges on it, and that my fingers can kind of grip a little bit better. For anybody who doesn't understand how these Kontrol Freeks work, basically how they work is, let me get this one on all the way. This guy, there we go, I got that guy on. Basically how they work is they heighten. They give it a little bit more height on the thumbstick. That way, what you're doing now, normally most people would use this thumbstick to control things such as looking around, aiming and things. Unless you're a southpaw, then you're going to use this one. But what that does is it gives your fingers a little bit more height, so that if you raise your sensitivity, let's say, you make it a little bit higher, suddenly your hand is going a little. It's not going as far. Okay, it's making a greater motion than if it was all the way down at the bottom. And I don't have another controller here to, let me go ahead and take this guy off and I'll explain. So right here, if I move my finger this far, it's already all the way down. Now if I use it on the Kontrol Freek, it takes a lot greater motion, so there's more space to work with if you use a Kontrol Freek, which means that you can make your sensitivity higher, thus playing more effectively, and you won't feel the difference if you use Kontrol Freeks. Now over here, you will. It's really tough because you have a really small range of motion. Okay, you can find most of this information on the Kontrol Freek website, and they explain it a little bit better than I did. But this is kind of Holy Ghost's improvised version. But yeah, so that's kind of how Kontrol Freeks work. Like I said, I recommend the Infinity Edition one. So, yep, those are the Kontrol Freeks, and I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hope it was helpful to you guys. Thanks. Bye.